Vinay told me about covering multiple aspects in one presentation. We are constrained by time. I will run the slides literally like ocean board speed. And I would want you to just keep your eyes wide open and absorb as much as possible. This is the agenda. India to home, the trends, and the future of industry academia collaboration. Quick statistics about India. I'm very proud of it. We spent an hour on this and helping you understand why India is the best place happening on the earth right now and why everybody needs to be in India. People are going all over the world, but trust me, if there's one place which is thriving in this ever-changing world, that's Mother India. And we're very glad to be in Delhi. Imagine 570 million people on social media. Never heard of. Morning, my dear friend Dr. Sitaram talked about India producing 1.4 million engineers. Collectively, America and China together, if you put all the engineers they produce, we are far better than them. This is going to match to our numbers. So India is all about scale. It's about managing the complexity. Look at the digital payments that India is making. 350 million transactions happening on digital payments. Right now, more information for you. Last one is very important. Asia, if you look at the number of people, English-speaking population in Asia is 416 million plus. Out of that, if I talk to you about India, more than 50% is in India. When I talk about Asia, India is the largest Asia. I may allow to say so. Right? So, why I am showing this to you? The country is full of land of opportunities. What I am saying is, we have no doubt, not the third, I think we will be the largest and the biggest economy in the next 5-7 years. We are talking about 2050. I think India will be the third largest economy very soon. It won't take time till 2047 or 2050, but I think India will be the hub for every possible thing on the earth. Be it human capital, be it students, be it talent, be it opportunities, everything. India is the epicenter. India produces 24,000 PhDs in a year. Tell me which country produces so many? Morning we are talking about India is the 5th country in the world in terms of publishing research and filing patents. People thought India is only a country of huge population. Today we have become the intellectual capital of the world. And we are not stopping here. I think the sky is not the limit for us as a country. But we have challenges ahead. Many of the world leaders were taken to some markets in Delhi. And they witnessed the digital payments by a local vegetable vendor. The so-called world economies in Europe fell off. When in America even today, you go for a vaccination shot, they give you a return paper. India, digitally it comes on your phone. That's the power of India Stack. I want all of you to remember this and talk about this to everybody in your home, in your college, in your neighborhoods. People should be aware of what India has produced for all of us. Now, I think I talked about it already. There is India's first solar powered airport. Fully 100% solar powered airport in India. It comes from south of India, in Kerala, right? So we already talked about Chandrayaan, MOM mission, and then we also have Aditya now. So don't stop in this country. I already showed you this number, 500 million plus youth, 200 million plus English speaking, just fine. Now, the future of work, I think I was talking to some of my colleagues in the afternoon. Some companies are saying permanently forever work from home. Some companies are saying, if possible, please work. Yeah? Some companies are saying, few days at least work karo yaar. Kuch to do, salary to milega. But I think the issue is, thanks to pandemic, we have unearthed a whole new world of work. And that brings enormous opportunities and challenges. Remote, work from home, work from anywhere, work from office, work from Timbuktu, work from beaches. Yeah, it's infinite possibilities today, right? I think I'm making a bold statement. In this country, in future, we will have no concept of retirement. We will also not have concept of permanent employment. I'm saying there will be concept of power of volunteerism. I want to volunteer to work with Mr. Negi's organization for the next 3 months. After that, I will see what I will do. For next 3 months, I will work with Chinmay's company. It's not going to be a permanent contract. It's going to be volunteerism is going to come in. Because gig economy is big. Imagine if now people talk about moonlight. Let's forget moonlight for a moment. Let's talk about gig. This is a huge unorganized sector which is there. If we bring them together, the intellect capital of the country will just go multifold. So I'm saying non-traditional models will emerge from an employment standpoint. And when we did a survey, again, we did not do the survey, one of the leading institutions in the country, the consulting company did a survey with people, 75% of them wants to work from home forever. We are struggling, we are trying to call people to Bangalore. We are getting all kinds of reasons, like Nani mar gayi, Nana marne wala hai, बच्चा होने वाला है, कुछ और होने वाला है, 6 months चाहिए, 8 months चाहिए, अगले साल आऊँगा, and so on and so forth. That's the reality, right? So, one suggestion is, let's not be scared about this AI. I think many people are getting scared. I want to give you reassurance. AI is not a threat. For me, AI is an enabler, is a collaborator, is a partner. If we use that, the technology very effectively and wisely. We have to be ready for digital, phygital and local. Yeah, these are new words, phygital and local. So we must be prepared for all of these things. We also talked about if you are forcing people to come to office, there is a huge attrition threat. 39% of them are said, we will leave the company if you force us to come to office. So this is about future of work. There's a huge architecture which will be built in. I don't want to dwell on it because I'm standing between me and my flight at 8 o'clock. Now, the future of skills. This is a big challenge for all of us. We are saying many organizations are grappling with this so-called midlife crisis of the talent. There are people who are 40 plus, there are who are less than 50. And they have done some kind of work. They joined the industry 20 years ago, they have done certain things. Now they don't know where to go. There's a huge crisis coming up. About 40% of them in the Indian IT industry today, of the 5 million plus workforce we're talking about, 40% needs upskilling, reskilling, otherwise vanish from the door. There are big challenges happening, right? So, we have to learn. This is the biggest skill that we need to teach people today. How to learn, we don't know. Forget what to learn. Learning to learn is the biggest skill. So, how do we do it? What do we do about it? Where do we teach them? Where do we start? So, there are a lot of these questions that are there in my mind. Academia is actually playing a massive role in building country's intellectual capital, because academia is preparing the future of this country. Academia is not only preparing the future of this country, but they are also creating the future for the world, because world's working capital is in India. Because we are a young country in an aging world, there are many working population around the world. Because India's average is about 33-34 years, whereas other countries are 45, 55 and 60 and so on and so forth. So truly academia is doing a great honor by building intellectual capital for the world. You have a big role to play. What it means is you must also be ready to reinvent yourself. If you don't reinvent, you will not be relevant in this world, because world is coming to India. The global academic institutions are knocking at our door because the government liberal policies, everybody wants to come to India. Today we are not worried about FDI. FDIs are waiting, so when can we come? Because markets are so high today, they are not able to enter. Similarly, if Indian academia cannot reinvent itself, we will be giving a biggest opportunity and we will be losing the opportunity from our hands. Now, these are the countries who are facing the greatest skill shortages. Okay, this is, look at India is at the top. So we have a challenge. I'm talking about skill deficiency in every sector. Talk about organized, unorganized, automotive, any sector there are issues. And we have, as an academicians, as industry people, to think about how do we have to bridge this gap rapidly in a war-footing basis. Because if we can't do it, we will lose the race, we will lose the game. Right, so now I am giving you some more availability of data state-wise. Skill availability state-wise. Again, when I was looking at preparing this presentation, I thought this is very relevant for you. It will help you where you stand. Some of them may not be in the sheet here. But for us to figure out where do we look at the talent landscape across the country. This is from the India Skills Report 2023. The world of AI has already arrived. When next time when you go to office, if at all you go to office, you will find your neighbor, not a human being, a bot will be sitting there and doing the job 200 times faster than what you do on a given day. So I call it as a hubo world. It's a combination of humans and bots. I call it as a hubo world. So get ready for a hubo world actually as we enter the future of AI and the world of AI. One more interesting data which will scare the hell out of all of us. If you are hiring for the talent for the 2030, you don't know what job descriptions exist. If you hire somebody today for the job that doesn't exist, you don't even know the definition of the job in 2030. So how will you do your talent planning? What will you look for in the talent? Is it AI, machine learning, Python? Yeah, it will vanish in the next real time, I'm telling you. When I entered the industry, technology was changing once in 3 years. Today it is changing once in 3 days. The number of mobile phones that are coming into the world, somebody was telling me, Apple 15 Pro Max, 5 billion phones were dispatched from India to be exported. 5 billion phones. So look at the technology which is coming in. So you have to look for what do you prepare for the future. How do you create the talent for the future, not knowing what jobs will be there. That's the challenge for industry and academia. Right. Now, this is the AI stack. I'm sure all of you know because I shouldn't be showing this, but I wanted to get the connection for all of you. But the most important is in the top right corner of the slide. The need of the hour is not the only AI. If you forget HI, probably will be missing the biggest enabler of AI. Human intelligence with artificial intelligence. And you are creating the artificial intelligence, right? So don't ignore the human intelligence. The potential of human mind is actually infinite. So the idea is how do you create a blend of HI and AI to build the skills for the future. Right. Again, this is more about AI. A lot of people have spoken about. I want you to just observe the slide for about 30 seconds and then I'll go to the next one. But the important here is that you can fulfill the 50% of the talent needs by your existing talent by using something called an URL method. Upskill, reskill and enable people to learn. It's very, very important, right? So we talked about VR, MR. Today the medical field is using some of this technology, virtual realities to educate in the field of medicine because people are not finding enough resources, so they're using AR, VR and MR for the advancement in the medical field. Now, what are the realities of academia? Sorry, please, I hope nobody has a tomato and potato and all of that stuff, right? So, but I'm trying to talk to you about the realities of our current landscape that we have in academia. We are continue to deliver 19th century content, 20th century methodology, pedagogy, people who learn from their forefathers, teachers who learn from their teachers, continue to do the same thing even today. But we are engaging in the 21st century talent who has attention span of not more than 7 minutes. Every 7 minutes you have to reconnect with the student. You don't even look at the student and keep writing at the blackboard, and then nobody will be there in the classroom and so on and so forth. So how do you do that? I call it the ADS syndrome. Our youth has got this ADS syndrome today, attention deficiency syndrome. Easy going, confused, not committed to the future of themselves, or the future of the country, or the future of the academia. So what will we do? Fully unprepared for the future. Now, academia is not aware of the reality. Maybe you are aware, you are not willing to do anything. Okay? And not prepared for a rapid transformation. How ready are we to embrace change? To understand why change is required and so on and so forth. We are not ready to transition and transform ourselves. A lack of mental ability and agility for change, we already talked about it. Highly theory-centric, not application-oriented, not aligned with the changing technology. We are busy in creating a filled mind. Okay? Semester, examination, 9.56 GPA, consistency, prepare for interview, push off. It is not a filled mind. You want the formed mind. Well-formed mind is required. Now, future is happening. What do we do? What is our game plan? What can we do? The question that I am asking you is, I think the time has come, if we are ready and we are serious about our profession and our role in shaping the future of the world, I am saying we must be willing to recognize and acknowledge the problem statement. Second one, accept responsibility and accountability for the current situation. We can't blame anybody. You can't blame UGC, AICTE, and Technical University. No, my Vice Chancellor is not allowing, my Principal is not allowing, sorry. All those questions are out of the window. We must understand and acknowledge and accept the responsibility of the current situation. Unless we realize the responsibility that we have to shoulder, we will not be able to move forward. Introspect the reasons for the current situation. There is no problem in this world which cannot be solved. Are you with me? Every problem is a solution. And if you want to make, every solution can be a problem also. Right? So that is very important. Evaluate how prepared are you for the change. Many of our institutions do not have the concept of a HR department or a strategy department or a talent transformation department. We have something called a training and placement officer. Age-old again concept. How are you preparing the entire institution for transformation? Whose job is it? Is it principal job, placement officer job, HOD job, or the student's job? Please evaluate preparedness. How ready are we? Commit to working together and start the journey of transformation. It has to come from all of us, industry as well as academia. Understand and learn AI, and learn with and from AI. There is a lot of things. This last line is a request actually. It could be university, it could be industry. We all are human beings. We eat salt every day. We have our share of ego. For a larger cause, for a larger responsibility and accountability of building a better society, better world together, we must let go of our ego and let's move forward.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.